And joining me on the line, great to welcome to Flow, we have got Ashleigh Dallas. G'day, Ashleigh. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks so much, Clayton, for having me on. I appreciate it.
It is a pleasure. How's things going with you at the moment? All things going well with all the COVID situation and everything?
Yeah, look, we just take it all in our stride, and what we can do and what we can control, I think, is what we're just trying to focus our energy on. So I've got a beautiful little girl who's keeping me very busy in lockdown, which also distracts me from the outside noise. But it's interesting times. It's the most I've never played on a stage, so that's a little bit, sad. But I'm also been able to write music and record, and that's been really great as well, to have that free time to do that.
So how much are you missing the stage then?
Oh, immensely. Like, on a hand, I can count how many times I've been on a stage in the last, even 12 months, which is just completely absurd, because normally you'd be playing up to anywhere between, 15 to 20 gigs a day, like a month, So, and it's hard too, in the sense for us, in the fact of normally our gigs are all musically family-based as well, and to not have that connection for the family has been a little bit of a different thing, but we are finding other ways to be creative.
Does the little one help you to become creative as well?
She helps and also stops it at the same time.
Well, I was going to get to that, but you got there first.
She's brought so many different ways of how I like to create, and from a different angle, I think, with my writing in particular, the last kind of 12 to 18 months, it's more vulnerable. I'm more willing to share. But also I've had to really learn how to write in the moment of being a full-time mum at home. Harriet doesn't go to daycare or anything like that at the minute. So when you get that idea, at like 10 in the morning, where I used to have that whole flexibility to spend 2 hours, 3 hours lost in my own creative world, I've now got to juggle that with, just the natural demands of being a parent. So,
Mum, baby shark, I want baby shark.
Exactly right. Or the Wiggles, she loves that.
Wiggles.
It's
Paddington.
Funny. It's so Paddington. Yeah, you heard that in the wind-up. But she really has, like, in that sense, it has, obviously, sometimes I get back to an idea and I'm like, where was I? Like, what mode of headspace was I in when I was creating this? But generally, the creative sparks are still there, and I'm harnessing them as soon as I get them.
Yes, they can be challenging, but they can help, and they can also be your best critic at times. So have you sort of thought you've come up with something really good, and then there's just no reaction? She just no reaction. Yeah.
I know when I'm onto something, when she can hum the melody back to me instantly, and I'm like, ooh, maybe we're onto something here. But it's just been a lot of fun as well to do that.
Well, I was talking to an artist recently whose song came on the radio, and his kids who were in the back seat. And so he turned it up, so he could hear it as he did. And his little daughter in the back said, "Daddy, can you please turn that down?" He was absolutely shattered.
It soul crushes you. I've had Harriet request other artists more than myself, and I'm like, well, maybe that's a sign. But I'm just hoping that other kids are saying that about me to their parents.
Yeah. So with your writing at the moment, are you using the new technology world, the Zooms? Are you doing it all that way, or how are you coming up and getting these tracks done?
I'm doing a mixture. Most of the time I write by myself, I must admit. And with COVID, it's actually been great to enforce, to get on Zoom and to take the opportunity to co-write with people. So in the last 12 months, I've done a lot of writing on Zoom and using that platform. And then in this current lockdown, I'm very fortunate. We have a home studio at my dad's place.
Yep.
So normally I finish and we go straight around and we record. But with these current lockdowns, I'm not allowed to go to the house at all to visit, etc. So I've become a little bit more tech savvy. And it's forced me into some new elements that I didn't think I'd be exploring. But I think that's the really good thing about, if we want to talk about positives coming out of this, that it's, it's forcing us to learn new crafts and learn new talent. And it's good. It keeps my mind thinking. And the other thing I'm involved in currently is with Sam Hawksley, who's based in Nashville. He's Australian. Yep. He's got a song club. And it's a private group that he sends out a song idea, like a prompt,
Yep.
And it's up to us to submit a song each week. So that's been really good for my writing because I've been able to get new ideas and it's forcing me with a deadline each week. You know, I think with lockdowns, it's easy to get stuck in a rut and kind of, you know, each day you don't know where you're up to. I've missed the bin night 3 weeks in a row. So, you know, to have this song club where it's got to be a deadline and you've got to be in at a certain time, I think that's been really helpful.
So if we see a vehicle come up with guys in hazmat suits, we'll know why, won't we?
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. So.
Oh, dear. So how do you find the pressure of that deadline? Is that something that you've grown accustomed to, or you still, you know, you have trouble dealing with it?
Well, look, at first I used it as a real push of motivation and, you know, we've kind of given like 7 days to get something together. So the first few weeks that I was in it, I was like, all right, first 3 days, nail this song and get it done. Now I'm finding the deadline as pressure. Like I see, and I think it's because we've gotten into that, again, that monotonous of the lockdowns and all of that, where I'm getting to like Wednesday going, oh my goodness, midnight's coming very soon.
Yeah.
But it's been really good. It's made me really critical of my songwriting in a good way.
Yeah.
I've always, and it's made me explore new ideas. I'm a very personal writer. Always have been, and I still pride myself on that. But with this, it's making me think outside the box. It's also making me go over all the lyrics because I don't have a schedule of meeting to a tour, etc. I'm just able to really look at the song and the bones of it and go, oh, I don't think that line's as strong as it could be. So I'm enjoying that, and I'm enjoying the push. I really am.
I spoke to someone recently who's in a similar song club, and they said to me what the best thing they found for them is that it stopped them second-guessing because they knew about the deadline and they just had to get it. And so normally they would look at things, they would hear it, and they would be forever dwelling on it. And I can come up with something better than that. But now they're sort of going, no, that's good, that's okay. I can live with that. We can work with that, and we'll see where it takes us. And so
And that's such a good way, another thing, a positive out of it. And I think the best thing too, it's still to feel connected within our community group. And I know it's, as an artist, and I think it's in any creative field and even in any industry really, you're really critical on yourself and you like to put your work forward the best level. And I know the first week that I was going to send my little song demoed in my little house to other artists that I respected and admired, I was like, oh my goodness gracious, what am I doing? But to have the feedback from your peers in a really safe way and a positive way, it's just been really lovely. So I think there's a lot of strength in that as well. Absolutely,
totally agree. Well, your current single that we're going to get to hear shortly here on Flow, it's very personal, I take it, and it's also one that, well, I thought it could dwell in the world of melancholy, but it doesn't really do that. I got a real positive feel and vibe from it at the end.
Oh, thank you, Clayton. That was a real conscious decision with this song topic. Couldn't keep up, as you said, obviously. It's a kind of a heartfelt message, and it could have been down in the dumps the entire time. But we really made that a critical choice when we were in the production. We wanted a lightness about it and a sense of healing, because that's what this song did for me. The song was inspired by, unfortunately, losing a friend that, you know, as time comes on, that you lose touch with friends, you change locations or jobs, and all that stuff can get in the way. Yeah. And when I got the news that we'd lost this person in particular, it hit my world like more than I'd imagined. And it was because I felt like I had so much left unsaid. And I felt like there was things that I should have said and should have made happen, but I always thought I'd have time. So I found myself writing this song with that in mind. And also I didn't realise in the moment of writing it as well how universal it could be for somebody else to relate to, because I was just taking to what I do for my own therapy is to write music. So I was just doing that for myself. But I think, unfortunately, everyone's been touched by sudden grief, and that's not even to the full extent of having to lose someone, you know, with death, but even just losing relationships. There's grief to that as well. And I thought that's why it's so important to have this song out now and to hopefully start conversations and also maybe help heal other people.
It certainly does that, and especially the line that got me was about the last time we talked, and sort of wishing you had done that, and the things that you wanted to have said, but you couldn't say because you didn't get the chance to, and I think anyone can relate to that when they've gone through a bit of grief and that they've wanted to say something to someone, and they can't anymore. They can't do it. They can't pick up the phone. They can't do it. It's just. Yeah, that just got me. So it was like, yeah, I can relate to that, and that's why I think so many people can. And often things get in the way, stopping us from making the call or popping round to see them or having a conversation, whatever it might be. And you think, I just should have done it. I just should have done it.
Yeah, and that's where I personally found myself with this, and I found myself reflecting and thinking that's where the line pride can stop us all from saying the things that we feel in the heart, because we're often afraid of what may or may not happen,
Yeah.
So I've been really overwhelmed with the reaction with this song, and it's really touched me with people feeling safe to share their thoughts with me of what this song's done for them. But, I think it's a really important conversation starter. I think we're moving forward with life so much. We're advancing with technology and medicines, but sadly there's still statistics rising in the mental health, and it just feels like we can't keep up with that stuff as well. So if you listen to this song and it makes you think of a friend that you've lost touch with, or you've had an argument about something so silly that you actually want to clear the air, just please do it. Pick up the phone and make that call and know it can either go one or two ways, but you won't be regretful with what you do.
No, you certainly will not. Make the call, and it's worth, just so it doesn't sit and stew with you, and then you don't have that regret of, I should have done it, and because you'll never know then. But if you have that conversation, and whichever way it goes, at least you've had it and you've aired it, and you can also agree to disagree. So you can always find some middle ground.
Exactly right. I think there's strong power in that. I think we're slowly, unfortunately, we're losing the art of having a conversation of different opinions. I think we're slowly losing that thanks to social media. And I think social media is really positive in the fact, especially with these current, COVID times, to stay in contact with people. But it's really important to still have those face-to-face, old-fashioned phone calls as well.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of extra connection in that. I know I've even found myself going, I know what so-and-so's up to because I see it online all the time.
Yeah.
But we always forget what most people post online is the highlight reel. So get into the nitty-gritty.
And the thing is, when you sit down and have a conversation with someone, sometimes you never know where it's going to go, and you never know what sort of deeping, meaningful moment that you're going to have with that person that will live with you both forever. So you never really know. So you need to have those conversations. Yeah,
absolutely. There's a lot of strength to be had with those. Being vulnerable with people, I think, is our strongest power that we can share with each other. And it's the hardest thing to do as well, I think. I know myself as, I'm progressing into getting closer to my to entering 30. I know my mindset on that's different to where it was as an early adult. And I think there's just a lot of importance in being able to share heart-to-heart level with people. So I think it's, really good to do.
Wow, entering 30. Wow.
Yes, bring it on. Dirty 30.
Wow. Wait till you get a 5 in front of it then. Yeah, then we'll start talking. So
I know. Hopefully, as long as I'm still, doing what I love and hopefully still be able to make music. That's the dream.
How do you find getting, because, you're very bubbly and you've got a good sense of humour. How do you find getting humour into music? Is that something you try to do or you haven't tried to do?
I sort of touched on it, I think, with one song on Lighthouse. And I must admit, I do write a lot of comic stuff that I just don't share because I do have a bit of a warped sense of humour. I probably, in all honesty, share the best place I share my humour is in that live setting of a live show.
Yep.
And whether or not I track down that road with recordings and stuff maybe in the future, I'm not sure if it will head there, but I do like the lighter side of life. I did one song on my album Lighthouse called Man Flu, but I just don't feel it's very appropriate to be singing right now.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So I've just kind of wiped that from my memory for the minute. And I tell you what, out of all the songs, there's been one thing I've been really proud of. We're up to, so like Couldn't Keep Up will be from my 5th album, and to have 5 albums coming or cut out with all original music, I'm really proud of that. And to be honest with you, Clayton, I had my song picked up for a TV show once, and I was so excited. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's going to be the heartfelt or if it's a message, you know. And it was Man Flu for the block. So I was like, oh, wow. So, yeah, maybe I should go down that path.
Yeah, take it. Well, there are comedy and music is something that it seems they seem to stay in separate sides. Rarely do they come together, but I sometimes think when they do come together, all of us benefit. So well, it's nothing better than a good laugh. I think Pete Dennehy and the likes too of Mike Carr, and obviously Mike Carr's a very good friend, Buddy Good. I think they're great examples of what we've got comedy and great writers in our Australian country industry. But you know, maybe there's some more power to be had there. Indeed. Well, Ashleigh, it has been great chatting to you. I've enjoyed the laughs. I've enjoyed the shows, and I can't wait to sit down and watch Baby Shark now. It's You sound more excited than I am about it. I wonder why. We've got your current song here ready for all the Flow listeners. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Please keep safe, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon, but it's all ready to go. Thank you so much for spending time with us today on Flow. Thank you, Clayton, and to all the listeners, take care, and I can't wait to be back face-to-face and playing music again for everybody, but for now, enjoy Couldn't Keep Up here on Flow FM.
Never planned to not see you again. Thought I'd catch you on the wind. You and I, we had plenty more stories to share. I never thought the last time we talked was gonna be the last time of all. So many things I wish I'd said. Here I am putting it down on paper, knowing you're listening in from afar. Pride can stop us all from saying the things we feel in our heart. I know you're out there in a way that I can't see. Next to me, I know you're out there, shining light on all you love. I'm just sorry this old world couldn't keep up. I guess I thought I'd hear your voice again, talk about where you've been. Now I ring to hear you say, leave a message at the tone. I never thought our last goodbye would have to do me for my life. In the moment I wish I held on. Here I am putting it down on paper, knowing you're listening in from afar. Pride can stop us all from saying the things we feel in our heart. I know you're out there in a way that I can't see. I close my eyes, I picture you here next to me. I know you're out there, shining light on all you love. I'm just sorry close my eyes, I picture you here next to